So almost every person in this classroom has listened to music before and listens to music every day. When you listen to music, do you ever think about the waves of the sound and how the patterns of the music are organized? Do you ever think about how the rhythm has a certain pattern to it that repeats itself and modifies itself? Have you ever wondered how different sounds and different songs elicit different responses in your body? Well, there's a name for this science, and it's neurocognition of music. When I tell people that I'm a neurocognition of music scientist, they usually look at me like I'm some super genius or get confused, like they don't know what I'm talking about and say, oh, he must be really smart. Really, it's just a simple study of how humans, how the human brain and music correlate. And if you break the term neurocognition of music down into 3 simple parts, it'll help you to understand neurocognition better. First is neuro, which means brain, relating to the brain. Cognition is, by the Stedman's Medical Dictionary, is the act of perceiving, reasoning, thinking, conceiving, judging, reasoning, and imagining. And music is, I'm sure we all know what that is, but for a formal definition, a pattern of musical pitches organized in a melodic fashion that is organized to establish an established rhythm. So, neurocognition of music, as a basic definition, is how we perceive and recognize music in our brains. Now you may be thinking right now, why should we care about neurocognition of music? That's all fine and good. I'm just happy doing whatever I do. Well, neurocognition of music is an important field to research because it helps you gain a clear understanding and a better insight in fields like therapy, psychology, and sociology. I've become deeply fascinated with this research. I've decided to double major in neurocognition or neuroscience and music, and I'm deciding on a minor in social psychology, which is where sociology and psychology meet. Other researchers that have researched this topic are Stefan Kolsch of Germany, Dr. Lisa Sanders, and Marie Tervandiemi. I don't know how to say that correctly. I don't know if I'm saying that right, but these have explored the neuropsychological and sociological aspects of neurocognition of music, respectively. Researching neurocognition of music is necessary to unlock the secrets of, first, music therapy, second, physiological relationship between humans and music, and lastly, how humans connect with the music they listen to and use that to connect with other people. Now I will focus specifically on the aspects and the benefits of music theory, or music therapy from the neurocognition of music science. Music therapy is a growing field, and it usually consists of a therapist and a patient. The patient has a mental or a mental defect, and the doctor will try to, using music that the person has listened to, reestablish that person's memory or bring back some things from that person's life. There was a movie in 2011 called The Music Never Stopped, and it was about this guy who had a son, and his son was in his early teen life, had joined a rock band and left home and went, and he did drugs and he did things that damaged his brain, and when they found him, he was taken into the hospital and they figured out that he had a brain tumor. And what they did was his father hired a music therapist who, this was at the time when music therapy was still evolving, it was still becoming a science, and they worked with him and played music that he listened to as a teenager to bring back those memories of who he was. And when they played the music, he'd come alive and he'd start talking about what he remembered. And he'd say, oh, I love that song. That song is, I listened to that song when I was doing this and this. And he remembered things, and he was able to create a lasting relationship with his father. And if it weren't for the benefit, or if it weren't for the research of neurocognition and music scientists, that music therapist wouldn't have had that knowledge to do what she did with that young man. Now I will explore the social or the psychological benefits of neurocognition and music. Neurocognition and music can help us realize the connection and understand the connection between humans and music. If music scientists have learned anything throughout the years, they have learned one thing, that humans connect to music. Now, I know a kid who doesn't like music, but relatively, people who don't like music are relatively few. Most people connect through music. And in order to understand how humans connect with music, we can look at the science and how the brain works when it perceives music. And this would be really helpful for us to research that. And scientists like Lisa Sanders, who's researched the psychological benefits and effects that music has on our brains, it can really help us to unravel the secrets of how humans connect to music. Okay, lastly, I'd like to discuss the social benefits of neurocognition and music. Now, for those who were alive during the time of the rise of the electric guitar, they remember the various rock bands would rise and become very popular, and they would start, they would make really good music, and people like that distorted sound from the guitar. And I would like to show you a picture of a sine wave, which is a simple wave, and the distortion of that sine wave. So as you can see, this wave is supposed to be smooth because of the printer messed it up. But this is the distorted wave, and you can see it's a lot different. And that sound, that quality of sound can still be, you can still recognize the sine wave, even though it's not completely distorted. It's not perfect, but you can see it, and it has that noisy tone to it. And what this explains is that music that people listened to during that time of our society, people they were able to connect to people who listened to the same music because of those similarities, that maybe they had problems at home, or there was tension, and their lives weren't in harmony, and they may have desired to listen to music that was a bit distorted. And those are some of the correlations that music sociologists and psychologists draw between humans and other humans through music and how they connect. Neurocognition of music is a fascinating science. I love it. It's my major and my minor, and this is what I do. Thank you.